Hello YouTube. Today I'm in my greenhouse. We're just going to do a quick garden tour and show you how things are going and some things that aren't going so well. So these are all new starts. It's been hot and I haven't had great germination on some of the starts. I always start my starts in here in the summer, and I really haven't had the issue that I'm currently having. Gardening's been tough this year. So these are some peppers. They're doing well. Got one eggplant snuck in there. Snuck a cucumber in. It's doing good. But we walked back in here, and this year I did a different cucumber. I've never done them inside, cucumbers inside before, and I'm not sure exactly what disease is getting them, but we're losing plants pretty regularly. So what I should have done is had a second succession of cucumber plants ready to go. But normally our outside cucumbers, we get 8 weeks of harvest off them. And that's enough to get through the season. Cucumbers aren't really overly valuable. So I figured if I got solid 8 weeks of picking cucumbers in here, that would be plenty. But we're on our 5th week, and this is where our plants are. I have found some cucumber beetle in here, so I'm pretty sure it's caused by them. But that's that. The peppers on the outside row, those are an Italian sweet pepper. They're starting to ripen, the plants. The cold we had early in the spring, even in here, slowed them down. And as you can see, when we pan over to this other side, the front where the two houses are together is, I've had a thermometer in there before. That's a lot warmer. And they have done much better. It looks really dry. The drip will run tonight. So that'll be good. And these peppers up here, it is warmer in this front. Smaller section have done a lot better. So I'll take a walk outside. This year, the farmers market has been, seems like a lot of customers, but they don't want to spend much money. So there's a bed of lettuce that we almost have cropped out. I've cut way back on plants, what I'm taking to the market. So just because they're not selling, I went by my records last year, and for like beets, for example, last year I was selling 15 bunches of beets a week, between 14 and 15. This year I'm lucky to sell 5 or 6. So it makes it I don't know the right term, but makes it disheartening to grow food and then have somebody come to your table and tell you how great it looks, how delicious it was last week, and then they don't buy anything. So the beets, I've kind of not been weeding them. I haven't been weeding much. It's just been a little disheartening, the whole thing. We have in here some iceberg lettuce. It's really good. Some of it doesn't look great, but what I have picked out of it has been very good. So I'm happy with that. And then back in here we have our kale. Kale's another one that we go from, 1 week we'll sell 15 bunches of kale. 2 weeks ago I sold 15 bunches of kale of each variety. And yesterday I went to the market. I took 10 of each just because the plants are a little picked down. And I didn't sell a single one. So that's kind of a kind of frustrating. And here I have a bed of arugula. I have a lot of people asking for arugula, and I've struggled with it this year. The flea beetles are just wreaking havoc on it. So I double netted this bed. I power harrowed it and then flame weeded it, hoping to burn off any flea beetles that might have been in the soil. And then I double netted it. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe we'll get some arugula. It's just a small bed to see, because I'm kind of frustrated with wasting seed on it and trying to keep it weed free. The problem with arugula and flea beetles, especially this time of year, is if I pull that netting off just to weed it, then they get in there. So even though it's, 20 minutes to get any weeds out of there, the flea beetles find their way in and take you out. So now we're up to the new hoop house, and things have been growing fairly well in here. See, we got quite a few cherry tomatoes, Sun Golds and Sweet 100s. They've been doing well. Walk down through. These are our big beef tomatoes. We haven't had one yet. They haven't ripened. So I'm hoping. And you can see we had a torrential rain a few weeks ago, and we definitely got some water in here. But you can see the wet walkways. Still wet. Tomatoes are doing good. Eggplants have been producing fairly well, especially on that far side. Where the side's not open, it's hotter. So we've had some temperatures in the upper 90s. Yeah, like there's a nice one that could be harvested anytime. And here's another one. So there's some eggplant. So I have focused a good amount of time into the greenhouses. Actually, my wife has kept the weeds at bay. And everything's pruned very nicely. So we're hoping a couple weeks into August we should have tomatoes, which, that's a little later than normal. And we get up into the Garden of Whedon. So I just planted a few trays of golden beets, hoping to have them for a fall harvest. These are the red beets that are struggling with the weeds. But the weeds got out of control. I didn't get up here. It had been raining on my days off, so I let the weeds get a little overrun. And, then when I go in and pull them, it slows the beets down. So my plan for the rest of these is let the weeds go, get what I can out, and then restart the bed. These ones I should be able to keep cultivating. I spaced them. I normally put 4 rows to a bed of beets, but I'm going to 3, so it's easier to get through there with a wheel hoe. Keep everything under control. Now we can come up here and see that my garden is definitely a disaster. It's never looked this poor. Kind of embarrassed of it. Didn't want to make a video, but might as well make videos and show the true reality of market gardening. When the sales drop at your sales, farmer's market, whatever, it gets hard to motivate yourself to keep the stuff under control. And the onions were kept weed free until recently. They're almost ready to harvest out, so we'll go with that. This was a bed of failed carrots before I switched seeds. I had seeds that I just wasn't getting good germination on, even though they were new seeds. So I bought new seeds again, and we've been a lot better on that. So these onions are totally overrun with weeds. We have green beans here that were planted in this early spring and still not coming on. But one thing is for sure, plants need sun, and when the sky looks like that most days, it's hard to get them to grow. And that comes into play with, you know, planting, harvesting, and weed control. I work a full-time job, so it's hard for me to get in and keep the weeds under control when I'm at work. And the days I'm at work, it's decent weather, and then the days I'm off, it's like today, rain. I just snuck out here because the rain stopped, but it's supposed to be back in the next 20 minutes. So over there is another succession of carrots. You can see they're up nicely. Got some lettuce in here. Had 6 inches of rain come all at once, and it washed the walkways into the beds up here, which has never happened before in the 3 seasons that these beds have been here. So there's that. Here's our leeks. They're growing, not killing it. But I guess this is the reality of market gardening. Anyone that does this, you're going to have bad years, and this is definitely a bad year for me, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if all this work is worth it. So over there's a bed of spinach. Some of it's doing okay. Some of it's pretty weedy. I've also never had this weed problem as bad as I have this year. The heavy rain, it just really makes them crank. So it's harder to keep up on them. The time I have allotted for weed control, like I've said, I'm lining. Yes, I'm lining. Is about an hour and a half a day after work, and then, you know, a little bit on Sunday. But Sunday I like to be planting. So that hour and a half has been taken many days, and now what normally takes, 20 minutes to keep a bed clean takes 3 hours, because once the weeds get ahead of you, you got to get them at thread stage, and well, I haven't. So there's a bed of salad mix, doing well. I did run a hoe through that before it got dumped on and the wood chips washed into it. So yeah, there we are. And over here we have a nice bed of parsley. A little over mature. It's been not selling well, so I'm not sure if I should go in and maybe just cut the tops off, say 3/4 of it, let it regrow so I have it again, or if I should just let it go and kind of forget about it. Over here we have some bok choy. Bok choy is another crop that has been surprisingly not selling well. So last year I sold 15 to 20 bok choy a week, and this year I'm lucky to sell 2 bok choy a week. So kind of letting the beds go. We're way down, and way down on sales, and motivation, I guess. So this is not the happiest video, but bulb fennel's finally starting to go. Be happy with that. What I got out of it, a lot of it died. Part-time market farming is, some years can be great, and other years, well, you're gonna end up with what I've got going on here. Really a mess. Weeds are overrunning that bed of carrots. They didn't come up at first, and then they slowly did. But yeah, here we are. Thought I'd share this video. I guess we'll call this the failed market garden. Thanks. Hit the thumbs up.